Hello everyone, today is second day of Code Drift and now we are going to begin with solving the problem named COVID-20. After that we will move forward with string encryption.
Let's start with reading the problem statement. A lab was trying to synthesize a new virus. They had one cell of that virus in a vial on day 1. The virus started giving birth to a new cell every day after B days, and it also dies after C days. On a new day, the cell will die if it is supposed to die before it gives birth to new cells. Find the number of virus cell in the vial after A days. Since the answer can be very large, we want the answer to be under a modulo 10 to the power 9 plus 7. Constraint on this problem are A is from 1 to 10 to the power 5, B is from 1 to A, and C is strictly greater than B and less than or equal to A. Now let's take an example for better understanding. Let's take example of A equal to 7, B equal to 1 and C equal to 3. So what does this mean is that we want the answer for the 7th day. After 1 day each virus give birth to a new virus, and after 3 days each virus dies. So on day 1, one virus is there because this was initially there, initial condition. And on day 2, one virus which was there on day 1 plus one virus which was created on day 2. So this number represents on which day a specific virus was created. So this virus was created by this virus, and on day 3 the virus which was initially there on day 1, the virus created on day 2, and two new virus will be created on day 3. These two new viruses are created by this virus and this virus. On day 4 this virus will die because it has been 3 days since its birth. So from day 1 to day 4 3 days has passed, so this virus will die, and all the remaining virus we will write it here, and these 3 viruses give birth to 3 more viruses, and we will write 4, 4 and 4. So this means that these 3 viruses are created on day 4, and on day 5 the virus created on day 2 will die, and we will have the viruses created on day 3, on day 4, and these 5 viruses will create 5 more new viruses on day 5. So we will have 5 comma 5 5 5 and 5, and on day 6 these viruses will die, and we will write the viruses created on day 4 and virus created on day 5, and they are 8 in number. So this 8 viruses will create 8 new viruses. So we will write 6 cross 8. So 8 viruses are created on day 6. On day 7 this viruses created on day 4 will die, and we will have viruses created on day 5 and viruses created on day 6, and these 8 plus 5 viruses created on day 5, total 13 in number, and these 13 viruses will create 13 new viruses. So 13 viruses will be created on day 7. So at the end on day 7 there are 26 viruses. So the constraint on variable A is from 1 to 10 to the power 5. So if we simply simulate this process for the first 8 days, then it will be sufficient. So let's create 4 temporary arrays for calculations. So array born, pre-born, death and pre-death. So born of I is the number of viruses which are born on the ith day. Pre-born of I is the number of viruses which are born on or before ith day, and death of I is the number of viruses which will die on the ith day, and pre-death of I is the number of viruses which will die on day I or before day I. So born of I will be is equals to pre-born of I minus B and pre-born of I minus C. So this term is the number of viruses which are capable of giving birth to new virus, and this term is the number of viruses which are already dead. So we are subtracting them, and pre-born of I is pre-born of I minus 1 plus the born of I, and death of I is birth of I minus C, because we know that after C days each virus will die, and pre-death of I will be is equals to pre-death of I minus 1 plus death of I, and our final result will be is equals to pre-born of A minus pre-death of A. So it is the number of viruses which are born till 8th day minus the number of viruses which will die till 8th day. So now let's create these 4 arrays. For example, we already discussed For A is equals to 7, B equal to 1 and C equal to 3. And from here we can verify that born of I is equal to pre-born of I minus B minus pre-born of I minus C. So we can see that this 3 is 4 minus 1, this 5 is 7 minus 2, and this 8 is 12 minus 4, and this 13 is 12 minus 7. And depth of I is equals to depth of I minus C. So this 1 is equal to this, and this 1 is equals to this, and this 2 is equal to this 2, and this 3 is equals to this 3. Now we can see that this pre-born array is the prefix sums of born array, and this pre-death array is the prefix sums of death array. Now let's go through the solution code once. Here in the solution code we are getting variable A, B and C as our argument. We are creating a variable n is equals to a plus first. This n will be used to create 4 arrays. Here we are creating the 4 arrays named birth, death, pre-birth and pre-death. And then we are initializing those arrays to 0. Then we are creating a mod variable is equals to 10 to the power 9 plus 7 because we want to calculate our answer under a modulus. Then we are initializing birth of 1 is equals to 1 because we know that initially one virus is there on day 1. Pre-birth of 1 also equal to 1 because we know that one virus is there on the day I. Then we are simulating this process from day 2 to day n, and if I is greater than C, then we are making death of I is equals to birth of I minus C because we know that after C days each virus will die. And pre-death of I is equals to pre-death of I minus 1 plus death of I. And if I is greater than C, then we are making birth of I is equals to pre-birth of I minus B minus pre-birth of I minus C. So this term will denote the number of viruses which are capable of giving birth to new viruses minus the number of viruses which are already dead and cannot give birth to a new virus. So the pre-birth of I will be is equals to pre-birth of I minus 1 plus birth of I. So pre-birth of I was the number of viruses which are born either on day I or before day I. And else if I is greater than or is equals to B. So this statement will be executed when I is greater than B but less than C. So this will happen when I minus C is less than 0 and we can't use the previous if statement. So in that case no virus has died yet. So birth of I will be is equals to pre-birth of I minus B. And pre-birth of I will be is equals to pre-birth of I minus 1 plus birth of I. Finally this else. So this segment of the code will be executed when I is strictly less than B. So no birth has taken place yet. So pre-birth of I is equals to pre-birth of I minus 1. Finally here in the last statement we are returning our result. So it will be is equals to the number of viruses which are born on or before day A minus the number of viruses which are already dead. Now we will analyze the time complexity and space complexity of our solution. So the time complexity of our solution will be O of A and space complexity will also be O of A. So this time complexity comes from this for loop here, and in this for loop we are iterating from I is equals to 2 to n, and this n is eventually is equals to A plus first. And inside this for loop all the computations which are done are constant in time. So overall time complexity will be O of A. So the space complexity of our solution will be O of A because we are creating 4 temporary array.
Now we are going to solve the second problem, which is string encryption. Now we are going to solve string encryption.
Let's begin with reading the problem statement. So you are given a string A of length n consisting of only lowercase letter. Now your task is to encrypt this string using the given algorithm. There are B iteration. In each iteration you are given 4 integers x, a, b and t. Then you initialize j with x. Then iteration itr from 1 to t. You store the value of j to k. Then you create new j as a into j plus b modulo n. Then you make b is equals to k. After this for loop, you swap the x element and the jth element. You need to find the encrypted string after b iterations. Constraint on this problem is that n and b is from 1 to 10 to the power 5, x is from 0 to n, and a, b, t is from 0 to 10 to the power 9. So let's take this example of string a is equals to scale scale, b equal to 2 and c equal to 0, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 3, 4, 5. So what does this mean is that initial string is scale and we want to perform 2 query, and for the first query value of x is 0 value of a is equals to 2 and value of b is 3 and value of t is 4. So now let's simulate the entire process. So we want to do exactly 2 iteration, and first we will do this iteration and after that we will go on to this iteration. So initially for the first iteration, initial value of x is equals to 0, so j is equals to x, so the value of j will also be equals to 0. Variable a is equals to 2, b equal to 3 and t equal to 4. So this means that we want to simulate this function for 4 iterations. So what we are doing in this function is that we are storing the value of j in k, then we are making j equal to a times j plus b modulo n, and b is equals to k. So what does this statement means that we are storing the old value of j in variable b. After the first iteration of the inner for loop, the value of b will be is equals to 0 and the new value of j will be is equals to 3. After the second iteration, value of b will be is equals to 3, because we know that b is taking the value of old j. Value of variable j after second iteration will be is equals to 1, as 2 into 3 modulo 5 which will be is equals to 1. After the third iteration, the value of old j will be stored in b and the value of new j will be is equals to 2 times 1 plus 3, which is 5 mod 5, and it will be is equals to 0. And after the fourth iteration, the b will take the value of old j and the value of new j will be is equals to 2 times j plus b, so which will be is equals to 0 plus 1 modulo 5, and it will be is equals to 1. So now initial value of x was is equals to 0 and the last value of j is equals to 1. So we want to swap the first character and the second character. After swapping the first character and the second character, a will be is equals to, a was initially scale, and after swapping the first and the second character, a will be is equals to CSALE. Now let's go to the second iteration. For the second iteration, initial value of x is equals to 3 and j equal to x, so j will also be is equals to 3 and a is given as 3, b is given as 4, and we want to simulate the process for 5 iteration. So after the first iteration, b will be is equals to 3, as b is storing the old value of j, so b will be is equals to 3. And after the first iteration, value of j will be is equals to 3 times 3 plus 4, which is 13 modulo 5, so j will be is equals to 3. And after the second iteration, b will be is equals to 3 and j will be is equals to 3 times 3 plus 3, which is 12 modulo 5, and it will be is equals to 2. And after the third iteration, b will be is equals to 2, and after the third iteration, j will be is equals to 2 times 3 plus 3, which is 9 mod 5. And after the fourth iteration, value of variable b will be is equals to the old value of j, and the value of j after the fourth iteration will be is equals to 4 times 3 plus 2 modulo 5, which will be is equals to 4. And after the fifth iteration, value of variable b will be is equals to old value of j, and the new value of j will be is equals to 4 times 3 plus 4, which is 16 mod 5, and j will be is equals to 1. So the initial value of x was is equals to 3 and the final value of j is equals to 1, and after the first iteration, a was equal to CSALE. So we want to swap the characters which were positioned at first position and the third position. So after swapping them, a will be is equals to CLASE, and it will be our final result, and we want to return this. So from this we understood how we can simulate the entire process and return our final result. But the value of variable b is up to 10 to the power 5 and the value of variable t is up to 10 to the power 9. So we have to do the computation of the order of 10 to the power 5 times 10 to the power 9, and now we have to optimize this solution. So now let's try to optimize this for loop. In this for loop, we are going from 1 to t and we are storing the value of variable j in k. Then we are creating new value of j as a times j plus b modulo n, and b is equals to j. So now let's try to write these three statements in the form of a matrix. So the value of j in the nth iteration and the value of variable b in nth iteration can be given by this matrix multiplication, where j of n minus 1 and b of n minus 1 are the value of j and b in j n minus 1th iteration respectively. So if we do the matrix multiplication, j of n will be is equals to a of j of n minus 1 plus b of n minus 1, and b of n will be is equals to j of n minus 1. So we already know that the value of new j is equal to a times value of old j plus the value of old b, and the value of new b is equals to value of old j. So now if we use the matrix exponentiation, we can compute the final value of variable j after this for loop in just logarithm of t time, and there are b iterations to perform, and if we compute the final value of j in each iteration in logarithm of t time, then it will take total of b times logarithm of t time. If we are using matrix exponentiation, then we also have to take care of this modulo n, because here we are taking modulo with respect to n. So if we are using matrix exponentiation, then after each step of exponentiation we have to take modulo of each value with respect to n. Now let's go through the solution code once. So now let's look at the code. Here we are getting string a, integer variable b, and vector c as our argument. Before moving forward with the solution, if you know how to use binary exponentiation to compute big exponent of a number and for a matrix, it would be great. So here we are creating variable n and q, and we are initializing string s is equals to a and n is equals to s dot size, and we are here making mod is equals to n and q is equals to b. And here in this while loop, for each iteration we are reading variable x, a, b and t, and after that we are calling the function fibo with t comma a modulo mod and b modulo mod comma x. So this fibo function will give us the final value of variable j, and after that we will swap s of x and s of val, which is the final value of variable j, and then we will move forward with the next iteration. Now let's look at this function fibo. So here in the function fibo we are getting variable n, a, b and x as our argument, and if value of n is equals to 1, then we will directly return a times x plus b, and if n is equals to 0, then we will return x modulo mod, and if it is greater than 1, then we will create a matrix a, 1, 1 and 0, and then we will compute m to the power n minus 1 using math power helper function. So here in math power function we are getting a matrix passed by reference. So we are using pass by reference because after computing m to the power n minus 1, we are storing the new answer to that matrix m again. So that's why we are using pass by references, and we are also passing the exponent and variable a. And if n is equals to 1, then it will be a base case, and if it is greater than 1, then we will recursively call this function again and again, and then after that we will use math multiplication helper function. So this is the math multiplication helper function. It will be used to multiply two 2 cross 2 matrices. Here we are computing the 4 variable x, y, z and w, and after calculating these 4 variable individually, we are storing them here in the array a, and this a is passed by reference, and after the multiplication, if n is odd, then we will again multiply our result with matrix a, 1, 1 and 0. So this is the code for matrix exponentiation. If you already know binary exponentiation on numbers and how to compute power of a matrix using binary exponentiation, this code will be easy to understand. When we will return from the math power function, the value stored in variable m will be is equals to m to the power n minus 1. Now we will multiply this value of m with j of 1 and j of 0. So here we are computing the value of j of 1, and here x was already the value of j of 0. Now here we will do the multiplication, and after that we will return the value of j of n modulo mod. So here we are getting the final value of j to be swapped, and now we will swap x with val, and we will move to the new iteration, and finally we will return the string s, which will store our final result. Now let's analyze the time complexity and space complexity of our solution. So the time complexity of our solution will be O of b log t, where b is the total number of iterations to be performed and t is the maximum power of a matrix to be performed. And this time complexity comes from that there are b iterations here, and for each iteration we are computing matrix exponentiation, and computing those exponentiation will take log of t time, and there are b such iterations. So the total time complexity of our solution will be b log t. So the total space complexity of our solution will be log of t, because in matrix exponentiation at each step we are creating a new matrix, so that will take log of t space. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.